And welcome back to my channel. My name's Angel and today I'm going to be doing my December reading wrap up, the very last one for 2024. I read 10 amazing books during the month of December and I finished it off quite well, I think. Single book in the stack under like a 3.75 star, so honestly it was a really good month. It's crazy, these are the books I ended the year off with and now we're already starting a new year, but as you guys can see by the top of my cart here, I have some great reads signed up for January. I'm so excited about them, but let's recap how I ended my year. These aren't all going to be in order, but how I started off December was with Hero of Ages and Will of Ascension, and you can imagine how this went for me. I read Mistborn in November, and I've heard everybody say that Will of Ascension kind of was like not like a filler book per se, but definitely was like a bit more draggy in the middle. There just like wasn't as much going on. Also, speaking of my dishwasher, I'm really sorry. It's doing her thing. I apologize. I don't feel like the middle dragged at all, and then I also said in my like recap of this book already in the reading vlog I did for this trilogy that there has not been a book in a very long time. I think the last one was The Woman by Kristen Hanna up here. A very long time where I have finished it and like audibly had to tell somebody about what happened. Somebody like in my immediate household who loves reading, and so typically when I finish a book I'm just like, wow, that's really good, and then just like move on. This one, like I had to like run to my boyfriend. I like really jumped off the couch, looked at my boyfriend, and I was like, and then this happened, this isn't what this is, and this is really like this, and I literally just like went off, and he had like no idea what's happening. He was like, but I haven't had a book like that in a while where like I had to tell somebody, like I couldn't keep it to myself. And then I went right in to the Hero of Ages. You can imagine how this went. Literally devastating. No, this book is just devastation. Going into this, I was like, I felt like I knew it had to happen as I was reading this, and then it got to the end, they made it 10 times dirtier, did other things. I'm like, why? Anyways, I think that's like a piece of me in like these two books. Like Mistborn was great too, but like just like this trilogy sold me on Brandon Sanderson. My audiobook for the month, another really good one, was Dinner for Vampires by Bethany Joy Lenz. I don't rate memoirs, but typically what always happens, I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna rate it because like I don't think it's my like job or like in my realm of things I should be doing to judge your life story and how well you told it to me. This one was really well done. I listened to the audiobook of it. This is the story of one of the actresses in One Tree Hill on her time on the show, and then also in an actual cult while she was on the show. It was very interesting. I listened to the whole thing on audio and she narrates it herself, which I always love when that happens. Since reading this, I have started watching One Tree Hill because I was really intrigued, and I'm on season 4 now. So The Told finishes off this little trilogy, but it definitely did not go in the direction I thought we were going to go from like book 1. Like I didn't think we were going to end up here when I read book 1. It kind of gave like every dystopian third book in a YA series, where it was like kind of overthrowing the government, fall of the empire kind of vibe. I did enjoy it. I think I'd give this one like a 4 star probably. If you guys know the Scythe series, pretty much the first book is they've figured out death, where now it really lives like a dystopian universe in the future where death does not occur naturally anymore. You can only die if you get gleaned by the Scythes. Is it Scythe or Scythe? I get told all the time, then people get mad if I say it wrong. I'm gonna say Scythe, I think it's wrong. Pretty much they like master death though, and they just like choose people like at random to glean, but typically they have like certain things they go off of. Like they'll be like, okay, well this boy is 18, he drinks, he drives a bit recklessly, so he'd probably be more likely to have died in the past day, so we'll glean him. It's a very like interesting concept, and obviously just goes and the ball rolls from there, but I really recommend the series if you want to like a YA, little dystopian kick. I read Hello Stranger by Catherine Center. This one I think is a 4 to 4.25. I did like The Bodyguard more. The Bodyguard was like an easy 5 star for me. Probably might have been that I was a little bit too close to it. I read this book in like 2 hours and 10 minutes during a 24-hour readathon. I just like zoomed through it. And I feel like maybe if I'd sat a little bit longer with the characters, I might have seen some things that were happening, but I didn't. Which the premise of this one is she is a artist who draws like portraits, specifically faces. And then one day she just gets emergency brain surgery. Something goes wrong with her healing, and there ends up being like some swelling on the part of your brain that deals with facial recognition. And so she has facial blindness. And you can imagine it's very hard for somebody who draws facial portraits, especially because she's in a contest that she has to submit an entry for in I think 6 weeks. Then she can win $10,000, which for her is like life-changing money. But she can't draw faces. So naturally that sucks. And it's like a little love triangle from there. I did like the ending, I was kind of like, and then once they explained it, I was like, oh, like, okay, I get it. I still was like a little bit annoyed, but I was like, okay, it's fine. Not my favorite by her, but still very good. I love how she builds a story. I don't know how to describe that. And just like the way she builds upon her characters is really well done also. It's definitely kind of like an Emily Henry, Ashley Poston kind of like writer for me. I kept going with an Ember and the Ashes series and read A Reaper at the Gates. This is the 3rd book. You guys know I did say the 2nd book kind of dragged for me. I do think that's an unpopular opinion. I like listen to other people talk about that book. But this one definitely did not disappoint. of the series thus far. I can't talk too much on this book because it's the third in a series, but this is a incredible YA fantasy quartet. I highly recommend it. The fourth and final book is my TBR for January. I'm so excited. I would say this is probably like a 4.5. I think the first one was like a 4.25, second was a 4, this one was a 4.5. I heard very mixed reviews. Some people said the fourth book really falls off for them. Like some people said this series was a 5-star series until that last book, and then it was like that last book was a 3. Some people said the last book's really good, so I kind of just gotta see what my opinion is, but I love them and I love these new covers. I refused to read this series before because of like the people they had in the covers, but then one day Sarah Crowley read Number in the Ashes on her channel and I saw it had that new gorgeous cover and I immediately hopped on them and I'm so glad I did. And then I did read, what was it, The Songbird and the Heart of Stone, I think that's what it is, which follows the best friend from the first duology on her own little journey that she goes on at the end of the second book. This one was good. I will say the main thing with this one is that the spice was not for me. Okay, I already like I'm not an anti-spice girly, but like my thing is it can't be overwhelming and it can't be like if I cringe once I'm done. Like I just can't get past it and I can't move on. I don't think vampire spice is for me. I don't think it's my personal vibe. If it's yours, I love that for you. It wasn't really doing anything for me except make me uncomfortable. The story wasn't as gripping for me as the first duology was. They were kind of just like traveling down the 7 levels of hell, which was like interesting but not like crazy, does that make sense? I don't know how to say that. However, the ending I did really love enough, I think, to read the next book, but definitely I think I like the first duology more, but we'll see what the second book leads, because honestly if it is like a good plot it could really sell me, but I think this one's like a 3.75 to a 4. And then we're getting to reread territory. I did 3 rereads this month, which I'm super happy with and proud of. The first one was Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. This is like my first time rereading the series in my adult years. Pretty much I tried rereading it during COVID and I think I got to book 3 and then stopped. I think this happens a lot when I try to reread the series, is I read the first couple and then just stop from there. I was never actually really rated these books because when I was reading when I was younger I was just like, oh yeah, this is good, and that'd be because I was like 12. I didn't care. I would say it's probably like a 4.5-ish. I didn't annotate on my Kindle, so I have to transfer the annotations over, but I'm really enjoying this reread. I'm hoping I can get like probably like a book a month done and then have it done by like March the latest, because like I feel like once like spring hits it's no longer Harry Potter season. Harry Potter season is fall and winter, so I need to kind of pick it up and finish by then. Reread of Akamath. I love this world so much. I will say this, on my first read of this book I think it was a 4.5. I would say it's a 4.75 now, but not just because of nostalgic value and like how much I love it. I will say it still wasn't a 5-star for me. I like the first time I read the series through, my first 5-star was Aquawar, and I think that is going to hold because I love that book so much. I find that if you're a romance girly, this is your first 5-star. If you're a fantasy girly, that's your first 5-star, because like that's more about like the politics, the war, and this is just more about like the romance and figuring that aspect out. I've said it a million times, I talk about these books in my reading vlogs, but just rereading this series means a lot to me because this kind of reminded me of like where I started reading with fantasy, and then also this like led into Throne of Glass. I didn't even know I was gonna do that. Obviously in Throne of Glass, like my Holy Grail Roman Empire series. Reading this becomes like really fun and nostalgic, but one thing I said too is I started realizing I'm doing all these rereads and annotating on my Kindle and Kobo and then not transferring the annotations over right away. I think I now have like 7 books to transfer annotations over for. Because I have this, Azkaban, my last reread, the 3 Mistborn books, all the books it's gonna be daunting. And it's gonna take me a while to catch up on those because I'm still doing more rereads actively, so wish me luck. And then my last reread, and I think my last read of 2024 was actually The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. This was one of my 6-star reads from 2023, one of my top reads of that year. And I've always wanted to reread it, but I'm scared to just because obviously the emotional devastation. My sink is just talking to me. I'm so sorry if you can hear her just gurgling. The first time I read this, I didn't cry till like the very end. I did so good, I held it together so well. This time, like chapter 22, if not chapter 22 onwards, I was just crying. This one easily still holds up as a 6-star read for me. This one, if you guys haven't heard, which I'm pretty sure everybody's heard of this book by now, it's by Kristen Hanna. It's a World War II historical fiction about 2 sisters who just like become a hero in their own right during the war and like how they aid, like what they do as the Nazis invade France. It is incredible. It's heartbreaking. I cry just thinking about it. I cannot wait to put all my annotations into this book because I have so many. If you have not read Kristen Hanna yet, please do. And apparently there is the movie. I still haven't watched the movie yet. I want to watch that now. That is my December reading wrap up and all the books I read to end off 2024. I do have a reading vlog specifically for the Mistborn trilogy, and then I did do a 24-hour readathon with a lot of these guys in there if you guys want to go back and watch those. So I'm gonna be doing tier ranking every book I read in 2024 because I think I read 164 books, I'm pretty sure. So I'm gonna be tier ranking those, and I do still have a large Christmas book haul coming for you guys. I think about 25 to 30 books coming in the next week. Go please to like, comment, subscribe, helps the channel out so much. I'm also on TikTok, Angel's Book Corner, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.